Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Trisha Shah. I just finished my first year at the University of Cambridge, where I study law. So obviously most of you don't know me, but what I want to tell you is that art has had such a big impact on my life. As somebody who's considered like shy, for example, I've used words and drawings to express what I couldn't do vocally. And I use art nowadays to make a statement, like my favorite artist Michelangelo does. Now obviously, like, I shouldn't be comparing myself to Michelangelo, like, who the hell am I? When my statement is like, I don't know, drawing Leonardo DiCaprio, for example, and his is like changing Italian art in the Renaissance period. But nowadays, I use art, for example, to express myself, my identity, my rich background, the fact that I'm Indian, the fact that I'm Kenyan, to show people what lives we live here, my culture. And that's not just me, that's all of us, because essentially we're all artists. Whether it be acting, drawing, playing an instrument, gardening, playing hockey, a sport, that's all art. We use art to bring color into what would otherwise be a monochromatic lifestyle. We use it to bring value to what would otherwise be forgotten moments. And as such, we escape Oscar Wilde's definition of a cynic. He says a cynic is one who knows the price of everything but knows the value of nothing. But through art, we come to understand the value of such small moments. Now, I visited Kibera Pride Home this August, and it was there that I truly understood what art can do to impact our lives. Because Kibera Pride Home essentially is a home where the director, Irene, basically makes a home for abandoned children. Literally takes children off the street and gives them a family. And as you walk into Kibera Pride Home, the first thing they direct you to is like the drawings that paper the walls. There are these little drawings that the children have made, like bowls of fruit, people they love, butterflies, etc. And it's like the dedications the children have given to the home. They give back to the home what they can't otherwise through art. And it's what makes Kibera Pride Home not a house, but a home. While I was there, I spoke to this little child, Moses. He found out I was an artist, and basically, Moses drew me. That's basically me. Yeah, you got my nose right, my big nose. But when I saw what art could do to a child, I kind of understood art impacts us all equally in society. Art doesn't discriminate. And as a lawyer, we learn that the law is supposed to be equal to all. There's equality before the law, and art has achieved that. Whether we're underprivileged, overprivileged, art gives us all equal happiness. Now, I helped supervise some art activities while I was at Kibera Pride Home, and while I was there, you'll see children coloring in dogs and cats purple and pink and brown, etc. And you'll tell them there's no dog that color, and they're defending the artwork. They tell you, "Apana, mbwa ni ya rangi zote." Dogs are of all colors. I don't know where purple dog comes in, but yeah. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because art is important to children. They're able to express themselves in ways they can't do otherwise. They're able to relieve their stress and to develop self-confidence. By expressing their artwork and their process, they're able to develop literacy skills. By understanding concepts like size and shape, they understand maths. And this symbiotically enables them to perform better in other aspects of life. By mentally mapping their drawings, they're able to increase critical thinking and practice cause and effect. There's this man called Luigi Barzini who wrote the book. It's called The Italians. And he kind of ruminated on the fact that Italy is a country with corrupt leaders. It's never been able to reach the superpower status like USA, etc. But yet, it's elicited some of the world's best poets and writers and artists. And the reason he says is because art is pure and uncorruptible. Now, in an age where we live, social media kind of births materialism, and we learn money means everything, that's what we've been taught. Art is basically the answer. It's how we learn that other things besides money mean the world to us. I witnessed this all first last December when I volunteered at Ayani Primary School, Kibera, where Mrs. Heisman said that basically wherever you are, even where you're playing hockey in potholes, or whether you're drawing in a place that has no money, essentially it's children are talented. There's astounding talent in all of us. Dennis also mentioned everyone has a story. Everyone, essentially these are sharp minds, right? And it was there that I learned that I could use art maybe to change lives. I had the privilege that these children didn't. So I decided to go big or go home. I used my own access to art to design a calendar. Basically this is what I designed. I used like art's ability to reconstruct memories, to reconstruct my first year at Cambridge. Now, this will come back in the self-critic, but basically, essentially, I love drawing portraits. So I drew portraits of some of the people that made my first year at Cambridge. So like, for example, I'm going to show you. This is how my process worked. So I drew, this is one of my friends, and I asked my brother if he could help me design the calendar. As a graphic designer, he added his own artistic vision to my calendar. He juxtaposed my grayscale drawings by adding color, and this is what we came up with. And it's just like how art manifests differently in all of us. It's kind of incredible. How was I a change maker in this project? So through this project, well, I would like to do what Charity did. I use my negotiating skills here to email like major companies, and I tried to explain to them like what this project could do for the lives of children in Kibera. That's where my project was aimed at this year. I explained to them the fundamentality of art, which is my project this year. And through that, I was able to find 2 sponsors to kind of subsidize my costs for the calendar, the printing costs, Gemini Insurance and London Distillers. I was also able to convince the owner of a bookstore in Village Market to help sell my calendars, where they're now available. Each calendar is 1,000 shillings. Through this project, I'm going to be able to raise funds for, essentially, this year it's for Kibera, and I'll be raising money for his fees, Moses, as well as just like funds in Ayani Primary School and in Kibera Pride. But this project wasn't without its own flaws. So first of all, I learned a leader isn't one person. A leader sometimes needs to rely on a lot of people. And as one person, it's too ambitious to carry on this entire project by myself. I learned that basically when I was dealing with the companies and like all these legal issues came up, like accountability, delays with the companies where they'll tell you they'll put your calendar into circulation by mid-July, but it takes until like end of July to get for them to email you back. And so my calendars came into circulation only last week, and I wasn't able to get the funds on time for the Citizenship project. So that now brings me forward to how I want to continue this project. So by mid-September, I hope to collect all my funds and use it to purchase supplies which I'll donate to the schools in Kibera, as well as raise other funds just for like maintenance of Kibera Pride and Ayani this year. But I also want to go to Kibera and teach art over there. And maybe next year I'm hoping to expand my project and use art to raise funds for other critical issues that we're facing. Lastly, I just want to thank a lot of people that made this project a reality. So number one, I think my biggest help this year was Miss Debbie. If it wasn't for her, genuinely I would not have a project. She was always a text message away, a call away. She replied almost immediately. She helped me find the head teacher of Ayani Primary School, Simba, who then helped me find Irene, the director at Kibera Pride Home. And I'd also just essentially, like apart from these people, I would like to thank obviously my parents, greatest support systems of all time, my brother, and Beacon. I think I forgot to put it up there, but that's because it's just like it's such an essential part of my life. It's just like you don't really realize you have to thank them, but they've been my greatest like basically growth mechanism this year. You've given me a family, the opportunity like to join you guys, and I'm so grateful for this. And thank you for all your support. Yeah, thank you.